Let's be real. If you're still doing everything yourself, then you're capping your own income. I used to be the bottleneck of my tutoring business until I mastered delegation. And when I did, my revenue increased by 110% in a single year. It's the same year that I broke my first 6 figures. Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm a business coach for service founders. I've helped thousands of business owners scale from their first hire all the way through to making 7 figures. And one of the biggest game changers is learning how to delegate the right way. Today, I'll show you exactly how I use ClickUp to delegate, track, and grow so you can stop being the bottleneck and start being the CEO. Today, I'll be showing you 4 steps on how to delegate. Let's dive into step 1, identify what to delegate. So where should you start if you're trying to figure out where you should delegate? First, I look for tasks that don't require my expertise. So we're talking about things like admin, scheduling, the repetitive stuff. So where I start is writing down my to-dos. Let's say we do the to-do list for the week. So for this week, what I want to do is I want to research 10 real ideas. I'd like to decide on 10 real topics. From there, I want to film the videos, I want to edit the videos, then schedule the videos into the calendar, and I also have my one-on-one coaching calls. Back when I had my tutoring business, this would be my tutoring sessions that I had with students. So what I do first is I look for the tasks that don't require my expertise. So we're talking about more administrative tasks, more repetitive tasks. I will highlight these so I know that they're probably the ones that I can delegate. So the ones that I've highlighted here are ones that don't actually require my input, but the ones that I've actually left unhighlighted do, because if I'm filming videos, I need to be the face of the video. So I can't delegate that. And also when it comes to my coaching calls, my clients have paid me to be in the call with them. And so that's also something that I'm not going to delegate either. Now, when you're learning to let go and to actually trust somebody else to do the work for you, remember that every hour that you're not spending on those tasks you can delegate is time that you can actually spend in higher revenue generating tasks like selling and like strategizing the direction of your business. By the way, you might want to check out the video I created called How to Delegate in 5 Steps so that you can actually trust your hire to complete your list of to-dos just as well as you, if not even better. In this video, I teach you how to set up your team member for success so that they'll actually want to stick around with you and work with you long term, which frees you up to actually spend more time on important needle moving efforts in your business. Step 2 is assign and communicate clearly. So my social media marketer and I already have a step-by-step workflow that we have in place that we actually host in the software ClickUp. So if I'm delegating to my social media marketer, hey, I'd love for you to create 10 real ideas, she's actually going to go into this board, click on this card where she's going to create a copy of it. She's going to call it whatever the topic idea is. She'll duplicate the cast and then she'll be able to start actually adding in the information that is necessary for us to move into the next step. So this is a good example of one that we're currently working on. So she's already filled in some of these details here, what the caption would look like. And so she would actually tag me and let me know that it is time for me to actually approve the video. And if I like the idea, then what I'll do is I'll move this into the approved column. You can see that it pops up under approved here. From there, it'll be actually up to me to start creating the content if we don't have the content already. And the next column is video shooting. So this is for me. If there is something that I need to film, I'll have to go ahead for that before we then move it into caption and copy and so forth. When I assign any task for the first time, I always try to make sure that the instructions are crystal clear. And so I will actually create SOPs, standard operating procedures. Essentially what this means is how you do things at your company. And so I created this document on how to create Instagram reels, and you can see that I've written step by step what my marketer needs to do. So if we look here, you can see under create captions, look, this is what the caption guideline and structure should look like. Here are some don'ts and here are some do's. I find don'ts and do's to be particularly helpful so that they can actually distinguish for themselves, okay, this is not the direction, this is the boundary in terms of where we definitely don't want to go, but this is the goal. in terms of the do's and what we want to try and aim for. Speaking of SOPs, I've actually created a delegation checklist for you so that you can actually leverage it in your own business and streamline your time. I teach you my foolproof 5-step delegation system that works for me every single time, regardless of who I'm working with. Feel free to grab it in the cards or in the description. Now let's talk about step 3, creating checkpoints, not micromanagement. I set up regular checkpoints with my team. So once a week, we'll actually get into a marketing call and we will discuss 1, what's been working well, 2, what hiccups we've run into, and 3, how we can improve for the following week. I find the face-to-face contact to be incredibly valuable because sometimes it's just easier to have those conversations and to really flesh out a challenge that we're experiencing rather than only talking about it over text. However, throughout the rest of the week, I will actually check in on my inbox in ClickUp every single day just to see if there's anything I need to improve, any feedback I need to provide. I love using a project management software like ClickUp because if we're working on a specific piece of content, I really enjoy just how you can have everything located in the one place. So we've got all our links here, captions, etc. And as we progress in our workflow, we have our conversations here. I can reply to what my social media marketer is asking. And I love having this inbox because it tells me exactly where my team is at and what they need from me. Step 4 is track results and celebrate your wins. So every month, my team and I will set aside time to review results and celebrate any of our wins. And we adopt the same agenda in terms of the 3 things we look at. What went well, what didn't go well, and what can we improve on moving forward. Whatever we want to improve on then becomes the KPI for our following month. So for example, our current KPI for YouTube is to try to actually improve our click-through rate for our thumbnails. So you might have seen that we're trying to spice things up a little bit, do things a little bit differently, just to see what lands and what doesn't. So here's the recap on how delegating can dramatically free up your time and actually help you make more revenue. 1 is identify the tasks you want to delegate. 2 is assign that task and communicate clearly how to actually complete that task. You can do this by creating SOPs for your team members and also leveraging software and systems so that there is a specific workflow for you to follow. 3, use checkpoints to check in so that things are running smoothly. And 4, track your metrics and celebrate your wins. You're all working so hard to try to grow the business together, and so it's very important that you do celebrate as a team, and it could be simple. I tend to find that as business owners, we forget to celebrate our wins because we're just moving on to the next thing, but especially for your team morale and their motivation, it is important that you do celebrate with them to show them that you value their efforts, their times. And it can be simple how you do this. You can just shout out your team for doing something well. You could send them a little thank you note here and there, or you could even do something a little bit more grand. Maybe send them a gift in the mail, or something that I'm doing towards the end of the year is I'm actually taking my team on a team retreat in Vietnam. So I think that's gonna be so exciting. Can't wait for you to actually join me on that journey. The reason why we're celebrating this and going overseas together as a team is because I told my team members that if we could launch our Tutor Boss Mastermind and sign on 15 clients, then I would take them to somewhere amazing where we could all hang out and just spend some quality time together. And at the start of this year, we actually hit that goal. Speaking of the Mastermind, it is an intimate, transformative 12-month experience specifically for tutoring business owners, designed to help you strategically and sustainably scale to 7 figures. Many of my clients who implement these delegation systems actually see their businesses double, if not triple in revenue that same year. And so if this is something that you think you might be interested in, doors are opening soon for our next intake. I'll drop the link for the waitlist for you so that you can sign up and find out all about the Mastermind as soon as we open doors. So remember, your business grows as fast as you let it go. Delegate smart, track the right metrics, and watch your revenue soar. If you've watched all the way until the end of this video, I'd love for you to comment the word delegate, just so that I know you found this video helpful. And if you're ready to keep scaling, watch my video here on how you're missing out on a whole lot of cash by not doing this one step in your business. All right, Tutor Bosses, so good to have you here. I will see you in the next video. Bye.